From the moment Owen Foster stepped onto the cool morning sidewalk of downtown Denver, something inside him felt heavier than usual, like a truth he'd carried too long was moments from dragging itself into the light. He walked beside his 6-year-old daughter, Ava, her small hand wrapped in his, her bright blue jacket swaying with each skip of her tiny boots. He was smiling for her, but inside, every step felt like walking toward a reckoning he hadn't prepared for. And when he saw Melanie standing across the mall walkway, her arms folded, her calm eyes watching him like she'd been waiting years for this moment, Owen felt his heart tighten, because he knew this wasn't just another encounter. It was the day everything he had buried, everything he had forced himself to forget, was going to rise. If you believe in kindness, forgiveness, and second chances, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe. It truly helps more people find these emotional stories and keeps the channel going. Owen had never imagined his life would look like this, co-parenting with a woman he once loved deeply, walking through weekends like a visitor in his own child's life, constantly feeling the ache of what he had lost because he hadn't been brave enough to confront his past. He had convinced himself it was better this way, that Ava was better without the chaos of the memories he avoided. But Ava felt everything. And today, her little heart was carrying more truth than he'd ever admitted out loud. They were supposed to be out shopping for a new winter coat, something simple, just another routine Saturday. But routine had never stayed routine for long between him and Melanie. Ever since their marriage fell apart 3 years earlier, their exchanges were careful, polite, almost scripted. Melanie's calmness wasn't coldness, she was just protecting their daughter. And perhaps protecting herself too. And Owen, for all his outward confidence, had been doing the same. As they walked closer, Ava let go of his hand and ran to her mother, her pink scarf bouncing behind her. Melanie knelt down, wrapped her arms gently around the little girl, and Owen felt that familiar ache. The sight of them together always made his chest constrict with both pride and a quiet sorrow. He approached slowly, keeping a small distance, uncertain if he should step closer or hold back. He had made himself a guest in his own family's story, and it showed in moments like this. Melanie stood up, her long gray coat swaying slightly as a mild breeze passed between them. She looked at Owen with soft eyes, not angry, not blaming, just observant. She had a way of seeing him even now, in ways he couldn't hide from. Then, before he said anything, before he asked how she'd been, or if Ava had been eating well or sleeping fine, their daughter looked up at him with a seriousness far beyond her years. And that was when she said it. "Mommy missed you, Daddy." Owen froze. Melanie's breath caught, her eyes widening just enough to reveal shock she couldn't hide. Ava looked between them with complete innocence, not realizing she had just torn open a truth neither adult had been brave enough to face. The moment stretched between them, charged, heavy, fragile. Owen swallowed hard, his pulse echoing in his ears. Ava wasn't lying, she never lied. And the way Melanie's gaze flickered away, just briefly, confirmed it. But it wasn't just Melanie. That one sentence exposed Owen too. Exposed the fact that he had missed them both more than he had ever admitted. Exposed the truth that he hadn't moved on emotionally, that he had buried the ache so deep he thought it died, but children always sense what adults try to hide. He felt his throat tighten as memories rushed back, nights he'd walked out of the house, not because he wanted space, but because he didn't know how to be vulnerable. Days he told himself they were better off without. The pieces of him that still weren't healed, the quiet, painful realization that he had pushed away the very people who made him feel whole. Melanie didn't speak. She didn't need to. Her silence said everything. She was surprised, unsure, vulnerable. The shield she always kept between them trembled, almost visibly, trying to control his shaking breath. Owen crouched beside Ava, brushing a strand of her hair back. He whispered something soft about how much everyone loves each other, but even as he spoke, the words felt thin compared to the depth inside him. He stood again, his eyes meeting Melanie's in a way they hadn't in years, honestly, openly, without walls. They walked together toward the cafe near the corner, not touching, not promising anything, just walking the way they once used to, the way families walk, when there's history beneath the steps, and hope somewhere in the distance. Inside the cafe, Ava ordered hot cocoa, extra marshmallows, and they chose a table by the window. For the first time since the divorce, Owen didn't sit across from Melanie, he sat beside her, their coats brushing lightly, and Melanie didn't move away. The conversation was quiet at first, gentle, simple. Then it grew deeper. She told him things she hadn't said in years, how hard it had been, how she wished he had told her sooner about the things that haunted him, how she never stopped hoping he would try to heal for himself and for Ava. Owen listened, really listened, and something in him softened, unraveled, healed a little. He apologized, not out of guilt, but out of clarity. He admitted how lost he had been, how afraid he was to be the man they needed, and Melanie, with tears she didn't try to hide, told him she had missed parts of him too, the gentle father, the attentive partner, the man who used to believe families could survive storms if they loved each other enough. It wasn't a promise to get back together. It wasn't a miracle fix, but in that Colorado cafe, with their daughter giggling over cocoa foam, they found something they hadn't shared in years: understanding, softness, a beginning. As they walked back out into the chilly street, Ava held both their hands, swinging them joyfully, unbothered by the complexity above her head. And Owen realized something powerful: his daughter hadn't exposed Melanie's truth. She had exposed his. If this story touched your heart even a little, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. It truly supports the channel and helps us keep creating meaningful content. Before the story ends, comment below: family deserves another chance.